working, but I was just sort of, I think at this point, trying to figure out what to do here. And of course, really, the answer is obvious. I'm going to go back to the hook. But a very, very dense plug here. And the reason behind the sort of, inflamed look, which you'll see at the end of the video, is, I'm going to switch back to a hook any moment, I think. The reason behind the pain and the inflammation and stuff like that is not because it's infected, but because, again, there's pressure. There's horrible, horrible pressure pressing on the skin of the ear canal and on the eardrum. And that's causing an inflammatory response. So typically when you have, damage from pressure, so damage to tissue from pressure, you'll get a release of things called prostaglandins in your body. And prostaglandins are sort of an inflammatory mediator, which means that prostaglandins are chemicals which will make your body respond to damage. So that's vasodilation, which is like widening of blood vessels to give a redness. You'll have heat, pain, swelling, and so on and so forth. And that's how ibuprofen works. So ibuprofen is a painkiller, and it's an anti-inflammatory. And if you take ibuprofen, it will block the production of prostaglandins. So that's why it reduces the pain in your body. So just bringing this out, it is a gigantic plug. Now, unfortunately, it looks as though I get it in one, but actually the back portion of it breaks off. So I suppose the olive oil has helped a little bit in the sense that I can kind of, slide it out without too much trouble. But it is just a gigantic, boulder of cotton wool and earwax. I think probably the patient had a bit of a blockage and they were encouraged to use oil and then plug the ear with cotton wool to keep the oil in, possibly. You can just see the eardrum back there. It does look a mess. This is the back portion of the plug. And I think this is the portion that's been pressing on everything. So you can just see in the background, it does look like a bloody mess, but there is no active bleeding. It's just all, it's called erythema. So erythros is Latin, or Greek, I think, for redness. So erythema is like redness of tissue, dilation of blood vessels. So moving out there. Now it looks, at the time I thought, oh, is that little perforation up at the top, but it's not. It's, and we tested that with a tympanogram. So bringing out this last piece with the hook, and it's so hard that it's actually very difficult to actually get, dig the hook into the debris. So there we go. And the reason it looks sort of dark or blackish is not because there's dried blood in the mix. It's just very old debris. It's very old oxidized earwax. Moving in, so a very, you don't need to be trained in healthcare or medicine to understand that looks like a very, very, very sore ear. And you can see all the capillaries of the ear